The Changing the Feeling of I, inspired by Neville Goddard, written and published by Audible Aria. Imagine that the world around us is like a big mirror. This mirror shows us what we think and feel inside. This idea means that everything we see and experience in our lives is shaped by our own thoughts and emotions. Think about your surroundings, your home, your school, your friends. These are all reflections of what is going on in your mind. If you are happy and positive, you will see the world as a happy and positive place. On the other hand, if you are feeling sad or angry, the world might seem gloomy and unfair. For example, if you wake up feeling good and thinking positive thoughts, you might notice the sunshine and the birds singing. Your day will probably go well because your mind is in a good place. But if you wake up feeling bad and thinking negative thoughts, you might only see the clouds and the problems around you. Your day might not go so well because your mind is focused on negative things. So the way you see the world depends a lot on your state of mind. By changing your thoughts and feelings, you can change how you experience the world. If you want to see a better world, start by looking inside yourself and making your thoughts and feelings more positive. Imagine trying to change everything around you without changing how you think inside. It wouldn't work very well, would it? This is because everything in life follows a natural order. Let's say you want to have better friends or a nicer place to live. If you only focus on changing your friends or moving to a new place without changing your own thoughts and feelings, you might find that the same problems keep coming back. This is because the outside world mirrors what's going on inside you. People who come into your life, whether they help you or make things harder for you, are following a natural law. This law says that the outside world matches your inner thoughts and feelings. Even if they don't realize it, these people are responding to what's inside you. For example, if you are feeling confident and positive, you might attract friends who support and encourage you. But if you are feeling insecure and negative, you might find that people around you don't treat you well. It's not just a coincidence, it's the natural order at work. To truly change the world around you, start by changing your inner thoughts and feelings. When you work on being positive and having good thoughts, you'll notice that the world around you starts to improve too. People will respond to your positive energy, and your surroundings will begin to reflect your inner peace and happiness. Do you ever feel like there's a difference between who you truly are and the way you feel at a certain moment? It's like there's a part of you that's constant, while your mood or mindset changes like the weather. This constant part is what some people call the true self. Imagine your true self as something divine, like the Son of God. This true self is always there, unchanging, just like a rock in a river. It's your imagination, the part of you that dreams and creates. And the amazing thing is, it's always with you, no matter what state of mind you're in. Sometimes, our true self gets mixed up with our current state of mind. Maybe we're feeling sad, angry, or anxious, and we start to believe that's who we really are. But that's not true. Our true self is like a wise parent, watching over us and guiding us, even when we're caught up in our emotions. The good news is, we have the power to choose our state of mind. Just like changing clothes, we can switch from one mindset to another at any time. Maybe you're feeling stressed out, but you can take a moment to breathe and imagine yourself in a calm and peaceful state. Your true self is always there, ready to help you make that shift. This audiobook about changing the feeling of I, in the 6th chapter of the Gospel of John. In that story, when this idea was shared, everyone left, except for a few. Jesus told them that no one can change except themselves, and people said, "This is too hard to accept." He also said, "No one comes to me unless I call them." And after repeating this 3 times, many people abandoned him. He asked the remaining few if they would also leave, and they replied, "Where would we go? You have the words of eternal life." This shows how much easier it is to blame others for our problems. But when we learn that we are responsible for our own lives, it becomes a challenging idea to accept. It's recorded as a hard saying because understanding and believing it is difficult. Jesus said, "I sanctify myself so that they may be sanctified through the truth." If this is the truth, then there is no one else to change, heal, or purify but oneself. We need to start with ourselves, the I. Most of us don't really know our true selves because we've never examined ourselves deeply. The I has no physical form but shapes itself based on our beliefs and thoughts. Many of us are unaware of the numerous superstitions and prejudices that shape our inner self, which then influences our external environment and life conditions. So think about this carefully. No one comes to me unless I call them. You didn't choose me, I chose you. No one can take away my life, I lay it down myself. Nothing can take from me what is part of my mind. Everything you gave me I have kept, and nothing is lost except the belief in loss. Because nothing can be lost but the belief in loss, I will not assume the loss of anything good you have given me. I sanctify myself so that they may be sanctified through the truth. The key to changing your life and the world around you lies within yourself. It's all about understanding and transforming who you are inside. Your beliefs and thoughts are like the blueprint of your reality. If you believe you can achieve something, you're more likely to make it happen. On the other hand, negative thoughts can hold you back. So, understanding and reshaping your beliefs can make a big difference in how your life unfolds. Here's the thing, no one else can change your life for you. You're the main character in your story and you hold the pen. Others can offer support and guidance, but ultimately, the power to transform lies within you. So embrace this truth. Focus on working on yourself. Take time to reflect on your beliefs, values, and habits. Identify what's holding you back and what you want to change. Then, take action to cultivate a better inner world. When you work on your inner self, you're laying the foundation for a better outer world. As you become more aligned with your true self and values, you'll naturally start to attract positive experiences and opportunities. Remember, change starts from within. So, how do we go about changing our sense of I? First, we need to find out who I really is. We do this by observing ourselves without any judgment. This will reveal a side of ourselves that might shock us. You won't be scared, but you might feel ashamed to admit that you've known such a flawed part of yourself. If this flawed self were God in disguise, you might deny him many times before the rooster crowed once. It's hard to believe that this is the self you've been defending, excusing, and justifying. Imagine looking deep within yourself and discovering something profound. That's the first step to change. Once you've seen the truth about who you really are, you can start to transform. Accepting your true self is vital. It's like finding the missing puzzle piece that helps solve the big problems in the world. When you understand yourself honestly, you gain insight into the moral issues we face. This understanding becomes the bedrock of how you see life and the driving force behind everything you encounter. So how do you begin this journey of self-discovery? It starts with being honest with yourself. Take a good look at your thoughts, actions, and beliefs. What do they say about you? What patterns do you notice? This honest self-observation can reveal truths you never knew existed. Once you've made these discoveries, you can start to make changes. Maybe you realize you want to be more compassionate, or maybe you want to work on being more patient. Whatever it is, accepting and embracing your true self is the first step towards growth and improvement. Goddard makes a powerful observation. Accepting yourself is the essence of the world's moral problem. This means that one of the biggest challenges we face is learning to accept ourselves. It's not just about feeling good about who we are, but it's also tied to how we treat others. In our everyday lives, we often see a struggle between accepting ourselves and helping others. This struggle is a normal part of being human. When we accept ourselves, we are more likely to be kind and understanding towards others. On the other hand, when we don't accept ourselves, we might take out our frustrations on those around us. Accepting yourself means recognizing your strengths and weaknesses and being okay with them. It means understanding that everyone has flaws and that's perfectly fine. When we accept ourselves, we are happier and more confident. This self-acceptance then spreads to our interactions with others, making us more empathetic and supportive. When you talk about the world, whether it's about other people, society, or anything else, you're actually showing a lot about who you are inside. This happens even if you don't realize it. The way you see and describe things around you is a reflection of your own inner self. This idea means that it's important to accept your true self first. Accepting yourself means understanding and being okay with your own thoughts, feelings, and flaws. It's about being honest with yourself about who you really are. Once you accept yourself, you can start to change. This self-acceptance is the first step to personal growth and improvement. When you know and accept who you are, you can work on becoming the person you want to be. It's often easier to follow the teachings of the gospel and apply them to others. For example, we can love our enemies, bless those who curse us, and feed the hungry. These actions, while challenging, can feel more straightforward than dealing with ourselves. The real challenge comes when we realize that the person who needs love, care, and help the most is actually ourselves. When we see our own flaws and weaknesses, it can be very hard to accept. This can make us feel a deep sense of shame. This self-awareness is like having a beam in your own eye, something big and obvious that you need to deal with. Just as the gospel teaches us to help others, we must also learn to help ourselves. We need to feed, clothe, and shelter our own spirits. It's easier to give an extra coat to someone else than to confront and change your own inner flaws. The real truth is that you need to start with yourself. Discovering your true self and beginning to change from within is where the real challenge lies. This journey of self-acceptance and inner transformation is crucial for truly helping others and improving the world. From childhood, he might have accepted these restrictions, gradually believing as he grew up that he was destined to be discriminated against. By believing this, he invited such experiences into his life. But remember, no one comes to you unless you call them. This means that any person who praises or condemns you is there because your inner self, not your outer self, has drawn them to you. This secret self, which is the sum of all your beliefs and everything you accept as true, attracts things that match its nature. So, if you believe and accept certain things about yourself and the world, you will attract experiences that match those beliefs. To change your life, you need to change your inner thoughts and beliefs. By doing this, you can transform the experiences you attract and overcome any external limitations, such as discrimination. It's about understanding that your mind creates your reality, and by changing your inner self, you can change your outer world. If you think you can't overcome your situation, that belief is the beginning of your problem. Your life is shaped by your own thoughts and beliefs. From the time you were born, you might have been taught that you are just a product of your environment, and that you can't change it because of where you live or how you were raised. But this isn't true. The truth is, you have the power to change your life by changing how you see yourself. If you learn to change your idea of I, how you think about yourself, you will realize that you're responsible for your own thoughts and feelings. Your state of mind is something you can control. When you start to believe that you can make changes in your life, you open up new possibilities. Instead of feeling stuck, you begin to see ways to improve your situation. This shift in thinking can lead to real changes in your life. According to Goddard, you and I have the ability to become whatever we want to be. But how do we make this happen? It's all about setting clear goals and staying focused on them, day in and day out. Think of focus as a habit, something you do regularly without even thinking about it. Don't just think about your goals every now and then. Make it a part of your daily routine. Whether it's in the morning, during lunch, or before bed, take time to remind yourself of your goals and envision yourself achieving them. Creating a noble self-image is crucial. This is how you see yourself and how you want others to see you. But it's not something you can just put on for a special occasion. It should be a part of who you are, something that stays with you wherever you go. We feel connected here, which is why we are together. But we need to carry this noble self-image with us when we leave, whether we're getting on a bus or going about our daily lives. The choice is ours. The hardest lesson to learn is that no one can enter your world unless you, and only you, call them. So, if you want to change your life, start by changing your beliefs about yourself. Believe that you have control over your life regardless of your circumstances. Focus on your goals daily and consistently maintain a noble self-image. This practice will transform your reality. Don't make the same mistake people made thousands of years ago by turning away from the truth. In the past, many people ignored the truth and never found their way back. Even the few who stayed didn't always like it, but they had no better place to go. If this truth is eternal and applies to all parts of our lives, it's important to learn it now, even if it takes time. Ignoring it won't help in the long run. Understanding and accepting this truth can make our lives better and more meaningful. Learning and accepting the truth can be difficult and take time, but it's worth it. Instead of turning away and missing out, it's better to face the truth and grow from it. Changing how you feel about yourself, the I, is a personal journey. There are countless possible states you can be in, but the I itself is not any of these states. The I only thinks it is one of these states when it fully identifies with it. For example, if someone grows up believing in limitations due to external circumstances, they fuse with that state and think it's true. It might take years to break free from these fixed ideas, as it did for one man who struggled for 3 years. Changing your state of mind can take time. It might happen quickly for some people, while others might need more time to adjust. But the important thing is to make the new feeling of yourself feel natural. Imagine trying on a new outfit. At first it might feel a bit strange or unfamiliar, but the more you wear it, the more comfortable it becomes. Eventually, it feels like a natural part of you. The same goes for changing your state of mind. Whether you're working on building confidence, overcoming fear, or cultivating positivity, it's important to immerse yourself in that new feeling until it feels normal to you. This process might take days, weeks, or even months. The key is to be patient with yourself and keep practicing. Surround yourself with reminders of your new mindset, whether it's affirmations, visualizations, or supportive people. As you continue to wear this new feeling like an old, comfortable sweater, you'll start to notice changes in your life. Opportunities might arise, relationships might improve, and you might find yourself feeling happier and more fulfilled. So don't reject the eternal truths because they seem hard to accept. Stick with them and let them change you, even if it takes a long time. Changing your self-image is a process that varies for everyone, but it's all about making the new feeling of yourself a natural part of who you are. When that happens, your life will start to reflect these changes. I don't agree with people who think you need certain things to get started in life. From a young age, we are taught rules that limit us to the world we know. These rules often use our own creativity against us, trapping us in a system that restricts our minds and true potential. This system makes us believe that we have no choice in shaping our lives. We are led to think that we can only follow a set path, and that we need specific things or circumstances to begin. But this isn't true. The reality is that you have the power to shape your own life. You don't need to wait for the perfect conditions or the right tools. Your mind and creativity are powerful enough to overcome these limitations. Instead of being trapped by the rules we've been taught, we should use our creativity to break free and explore new possibilities. You can start shaping your life right now with whatever you have. Have you ever felt like the way you were born limits who you can become? Maybe you've thought that your accent, skin color, or background would hold you back. But here's the truth. You can start fresh and become whoever you want to be. Sure, you can't change things like your skin color or where you were born, but those things don't define you. They might shape your experiences, but they don't determine your future. The real obstacle isn't your appearance or background, it's your mindset. If you believe that your accent or skin color holds you back, then it might. But if you see them as parts of who you are without letting them define you, then the possibilities are endless. Your state of mind can either free you or restrict you. If you persist in a negative mindset, you'll stay stuck. But it's important to understand that no one else really cares about your struggles as much as you do. It's a harsh truth. But most people are too caught up in their own lives to truly care. They'll listen briefly out of politeness, but they don't truly care. Have you ever felt like nobody understands your struggles the way you do? It can be a tough realization, but it's also a powerful wake-up call. We all have our own lives, with our own problems and worries. While friends and family might care about us, they can't fully understand what we're going through because they're not living in our shoes. But here's the thing. Realizing that nobody cares about our struggles as much as we do can be empowering. It's like a nudge from the universe, urging us to take control of our lives and make things happen. You see, before the world began, before we were even born, God gave us a gift. It's a special talent or ability that's unique to each of us. It's something that sets us apart and gives us the power to create the life we want. Maybe your gift is the ability to connect with people, or maybe it's a talent for writing or painting. Whatever it is, it's something that brings you joy and fulfillment. You might read the Lord's Prayer every day, but you might not understand its true meaning. The version you know is a translation of a translation, which can sometimes lose the original intent. The real meaning of the prayer is better captured in Farrar Fenton's work. In his translation, the prayer is written in what is called the imperative passive mood. This means that the prayer is not just a request, but a command that should be done absolutely and continuously. Instead of seeing the prayer as just words we say, we should understand it as a powerful instruction that we are meant to follow with conviction. This changes the way we approach it, making it a more active and constant part of our lives. By understanding and using this prayer in its true form, we can better connect with the gift that God has given us. This gift is our ability to create and shape our own lives. It reminds us that we have the power to change our circumstances no matter what they are, by tapping into our inner strength and divine guidance. Imagine the universe as one enormous, interconnected machine where everything is happening at once. There's nothing left to become. Everything is already in motion. This idea is reflected in the original wording of the Lord's Prayer, which should be understood as saying, "Thy will must be being done. Thy kingdom come must be being restored. Thy will must be being done. Thy kingdom must be being restored." This phrasing is important because it captures the continuous and absolute nature of the actions. It means that God's will is always being done and His kingdom is always being restored. These are ongoing processes, not just future events or wishes. However, when the prayer was translated into Latin, the unique grammatical form used to express this continuous action didn't exist in Latin. Because of this, the English translation we commonly use today doesn't fully convey the original meaning and intent. By understanding the prayer in this way, we can see that it isn't just about asking for things to happen. It's about recognizing and affirming that these divine actions are constantly unfolding. This perspective can change how we see our place in the universe. It reminds us that we are part of an ongoing divine process and encourages us to align ourselves with this continuous flow of creation and restoration. In this way, we can connect more deeply with the true intent of the prayer and the divine power it represents, allowing us to better participate in the unfolding of God's will and the restoration of His kingdom in our lives and the world around us. If you understand that everything exists right now, you don't need to become something new. You just choose the state you want to be in. When you step into that state, it might feel like you are becoming something different, but in reality, it already exists. Every detail of that state is already happening and complete. When you choose to occupy a new state, it feels like you're going through the process of making it happen, but that state is already fully formed and ongoing. This means you have the power to choose the person you want to be. By selecting a different state of being than the one you currently express, you begin to change your sense of self, your I. Think of it like tuning into a different channel on a TV. All the channels are already broadcasting their shows. You don't create a new show by changing the channel. You simply switch to a different broadcast that's already happening. Similarly, by choosing a new state of being, you align yourself with a different reality that's already in existence. This shifts your experiences and how you feel about yourself. So if you want to be a different person or live a different life, you can start by choosing that new state. This choice changes your perspective and the way you experience life. It's not about becoming something new from scratch, but about aligning yourself with a different, already existing reality and letting that change your experience of I. A great way to understand this concept is to think of your life as an archive of movie scripts. Imagine there are countless scripts for your life, each one detailing a different story you could live out. When you manifest something or go through the process of manifesting, you're not just visualizing one specific thing that will come to you. Instead, you're choosing a script that includes what you want. Each script contains various scenes and events. By choosing a particular script, you move into a version of your life where everything in that script happens naturally. It's like stepping into a new movie where the story unfolds according to the script you've chosen. Once you pick a script, let it play out. Don't overthink or question every detail. Trust that the script will guide your experiences and that everything will happen as it should. By aligning yourself with a specific script, you allow your life to flow in the direction of that story. So if you want a different experience or outcome, choose the script that matches that desire. Once you do, relax and let the story unfold. This approach helps you understand that you have the power to select the life you want from an infinite archive of possibilities. And once you make that choice, the details will naturally fall into place. What Goddard explaining is that every state of being is happening right now, in this moment. You can switch between different states whenever you want. To do this, you need to express the state as if it is already real. This starts by changing how you feel about yourself, your sense of I. How do you know if you've successfully changed your sense of I? Start by observing your reactions to life without judging them. Pay attention to how you respond to different situations. Then, notice your reactions when you think you've adopted your chosen state. If you believe you're the person you want to be, observe how you react. If your reactions are the same as before, you haven't fully identified with your new choice because your reactions are automatic. For example, if you want to feel more confident, imagine you are already a confident person. Then, notice how you react in situations where you would normally feel unsure. If you still react with doubt or hesitation, it means you haven't fully embraced your new state of confidence. But if your reactions start to change and align with being confident, then you know you have successfully shifted your sense of I. This process involves continuously observing and adjusting your reactions until they match the state you desire. By doing this, you effectively switch into the new state and let it shape your experiences and actions. If I truly change, my reactions to life will automatically change as well. When I change my sense of I, my reactions change, and this leads to a change in my environment and behavior. However, let me warn you, simply changing your mood for a short time isn't the same as a real transformation. A temporary change in mood can quickly be replaced by another mood going in the opposite direction. For a real change to happen, it's not just about briefly feeling different. When I talk about a genuine change, like the gentleman who changed his fundamental mood and state of consciousness, it means that I must believe in my new state, even if it seems unreasonable at the moment. I need to stay in this new state long enough for it to become stable and permanent. So it's important to understand that a true change of consciousness requires more than a momentary shift in mood. It involves consistently maintaining the new state of mind until it becomes a lasting part of who you are. This stability is what leads to genuine transformation in your reactions, environment, and behavior. When all my energy flows from a new state of being, I no longer just think about that state, I think from within it. When this state becomes stable and strong enough to push out all competing states, it becomes my main way of thinking and defines my character. This is a true transformation or change of consciousness. Once I reach this stable state, my world will start to change to match my new inner state. People will come into my life to help, thinking they are choosing to do so on their own. In reality, they are simply playing their part because of the change I made within myself. By moving from one state to another, I change how I relate to the world, and this new relationship forces others to act differently toward me. So, by firmly establishing a new state of being, I set in motion a chain of events that transforms my environment and the behavior of those around me. They respond to my inner change, aligning their actions with the new reality I have created. We are always moving in and out of different parallel realities. The future parts of these realities exist on a level of information that we can actually sense. It's like when people get a feeling to avoid getting on a plane that ends up crashing. They sense something from an alternative reality where different events happen. These feelings come from the knowledge we have in these alternative states. Events are constantly shifting between these parallel realities. Who we are is not just the life we are living, because our lives are always shifting in and out of different paths or lifelines. To put it simply, our existence is like a series of different movies playing out in parallel. We can sense what's happening in these other movies, and sometimes our feelings guide us based on this hidden information. Our true self isn't tied to just one of these movies, but is part of a constantly shifting series of experiences and realities. When he says that the state you want to be in is happening now, it means that all these parallel universes exist at this very moment. In another universe, the state you desire already exists. We don't fully understand how these parallel realities interact with each other, but we do know that the future is like a script. Eventually, this script will align with a parallel reality because the physics of it are all laid out. While the details might differ slightly, there's a general movement toward that state. So what you're doing on a complex level is constantly shifting in and out of different lifelines or parallel realities. If you find yourself in a negative lifeline, suddenly everything goes wrong. Your refrigerator breaks, your washer and dryer stop working. It's because in this lifeline something has caused these issues. There is always a cause and effect. Your mind is constantly navigating through these different lifelines. If you focus on a positive state, you shift into a reality where things work out better. If you fall into a negative state, you shift into a reality where more things go wrong. By understanding this, you can see how your thoughts and feelings influence the reality you experience. You are not stuck in one lifeline. You are always moving through many different versions of your life, and your state of mind determines which version you experience. The more I learn about combining these ideas, the more I see how powerful they are, even though he doesn't always explain why. I love the way he talks about it because it makes so much sense. When it comes to changing ourselves, we need to start with desire. Desire is the driving force that makes us want to be different from who we are now. We often fail because we don't feel strongly enough about the changes we want to make. We don't fall in love with our goals enough to really pursue them. If I could help you fall deeply in love with a particular goal, so much that it constantly occupies your mind, I would almost guarantee that you would achieve it in the near future. The reason we fail is that we don't have a strong enough desire to change. This could be because we don't understand the principles behind change, or we don't feel a strong enough urge to make it happen. When we change our feelings about ourselves, we start to react differently to the world around us. These new reactions lead to changes in our reality. So the key to changing our world is changing our inner feelings and desires. If you are happy with your life and feel content with how things are, you haven't started exploring deeper truths. The first lesson of wisdom is meant for those who are not content. Blessed are the poor in spirit. This means you need to feel a sense of dissatisfaction, not a sense of being satisfied with everything as it is. A person who believes that the religion or circumstances they were born into are good enough for them is not dissatisfied. This person is content and doesn't feel the need to change. Such a person is not poor in spirit. Instead, they are rich in spirit, in the sense that they feel they already have everything they need. Because of this contentment, they do not seek the kingdom of God, which is a metaphor for deeper understanding and fulfillment. If I can make you feel a sense of dissatisfaction with yourself, then you will start to see the need to change and improve yourself. The only place where you can really make a difference is within yourself. You can't change others, but you can change yourself. When you change yourself, your entire world will change along with you. This means that personal growth and transformation start from within and lead to a transformed reality around you. I want to start by focusing on an important quote. The changing of the feeling of I results in the change of reaction. This means that when you change how you feel about yourself, it changes how you react to everything around you. When you feel good about yourself, you react more positively to situations and people. If you feel confident and happy, you are more likely to handle challenges well and be kind to others. On the other hand, if you feel bad about yourself, your reactions might be negative or unhelpful. This idea shows that our feelings about ourselves have a big impact on our lives. By improving our self-esteem and self-worth, we can change our reactions and make our lives better. Changing how you feel about yourself can be difficult, but it starts with small steps. Focus on your strengths and achievements. Practice self-care and be kind to yourself. Over time, these changes in how you see yourself will lead to better reactions and a more positive life. Imagine you are working towards a goal or a desire. Ask yourself this question. If your wishes were already fulfilled, how would you react? How would you feel and respond to situations from that state where your desires have come true? Think about what your reactions would be like if you were already living your dream. For example, if your goal is to be more confident, picture how you would act and respond to people if you were already a confident person. How would you carry yourself? What would you say? How would you feel inside? It's important to understand that there are things you might not know yet about how you would react in this new state. You may discover new feelings and responses that you haven't experienced before. The idea is to start practicing these reactions now, even before your desires are fulfilled, because this shift in your inner feeling and reaction can help bring about the change you want in your life. By changing your internal feelings and reactions, you can start to transform your outer world. When you change how you feel and respond to things inside, you make it easier for your goals and desires to come true. This process works because your thoughts and feelings affect your actions. If you feel positive and confident inside, you will act in ways that help you reach your goals. For example, if you want to be more successful at school or work, feeling confident and motivated will help you study better or work harder. When your inner feelings align with what you want, your actions naturally follow. This alignment makes it more likely that you will achieve your goals. Your positive attitude and improved reactions to challenges can open up new opportunities and help you overcome obstacles. let's take a moment to open up and think about how you would react in different situations. Imagine someone says to you, "Hey, let's go to this party." How would you react? Think about your real-world responses and how they reflect your current state of mind. Now, let's take this a step further. Imagine you are back in 1953, sitting with people who are listening to this lecture. Picture yourself in a theater in Los Angeles where these talks were given every Sunday. Feel as though you are part of the audience, sharing in the experience and exercises. At the end of the lecture, there's a special exercise. Goddard says, "I see that our time is almost up, so in the last minute we have left, let me give you some advice. I won't push you to come to the meeting tomorrow night, because if you come without really wanting to learn, it won't help you. But I do hope many of you will come, even if you're just curious or even skeptical about what I've said. If you come with the intention of trying to disprove what I've told you, I welcome that. I believe that in trying to disprove it, if you are sincere, you will end up proving it to yourself. This means that even if you start out doubting these ideas, as long as you honestly investigate them, you might find out that they are true. So whether you're eager to learn more or just want to test these ideas, your participation is valuable." Goddard challenges the audience by saying, "I know many of you don't believe me, and that's fine. Go ahead and try it for yourself." He encourages everyone to join him and explore these ideas further. He invites them to attend sessions at the Audible, where they gather for 15 minutes, Monday through Friday. Although he's not certain if that's the exact location, he recalls Mr. Smith mentioning that the sessions run for 3 consecutive weeks. Goddard urges people to attend all the sessions if possible, but if not, to choose the topics that interest them the most. He highlights the importance of the next session, which he considers fundamental. This session will focus on the significance of defining a goal in life. Without a clear aim, a person is directionless. He references the Epistle of James, which warns that a double-minded person is unstable and won't achieve anything. Such a person is like a wave driven by the wind, constantly shifting and never reaching a goal. The key message is that one must focus on a single aim to succeed. Without this focus, a person will be unstable and unable to achieve their goals. He hopes many will join and benefit from these sessions, whether they are eager to learn or skeptical, but willing to test the ideas. Thank you for listening.